Alright, let's do this. Alright, welcome to Mountain Ridge ATV Park, also known as the Windmill Park. It's pretty epic here. We've been out here for about a day and a half already. Decided to put the GoPro on, take you guys for a little spin. So we're gonna go hit a little 2-track. We've been doing a lot of single track, but it rained a lot this morning and the single track is getting pretty tough. A lot of roots, a lot of sliding. I'm on some stock DOT tires and it's been a little squirrely to say the least. So I'm gonna take you on my favorite little start the day off right kind of trail. I think this is called the Gunner, something like that. There'll be a sign. We'll see it in a second. But yeah, the 450 is feeling good. This is my first day out like in proper dirt. We're in western Pennsylvania in a little area called Central City, pretty close to Pittsburgh. Gunner Run, there it is. This is green for easy, blue for medium, and red for hard. This one's fun though, it flows. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now, ride my butt off, and you guys enjoy. I'm not gonna really ride my butt off. It's pretty slippery, but it's nice because it's been really dusty, and the dust has settled now. So, oh yeah, by the way, the 450 has an amazing suspension. I learned that this week. So I'm rusty. You know, I haven't ridden a dirt bike in 15 years, and I definitely haven't been off-road that much in 15 years. A little on the scrambler, but I'm not counting that because I just basically explore. And this thing is making up for my lack of skills. This bike is so compliant. I know it's got some reputations, twitchy, things like that, but I got an ECU in here and it's smoothed it out for the most part. I've had some flame outs, I've had some stalls, but I'm just gonna chalk most of that up to me not giving good momentum getting into situations and just poor clutch and throttle control because I'm just learning again, you know, I'm a beginner. I mean, I'm a beginner with an intermediate mindset. Physically, I'm a beginner. Physically, I have the confidence of a beginner right now, but in my head, I'm like, oh, I know how to do this stuff. So I'm just trying to get back in the saddle, get back in the swing of things, and enjoy some beautiful forest out here in western Pennsylvania. So now, with no further ado, I will shut up, just ride, enjoy. You know I'm going to. Gonna run. It's a good like 2 miles. The 450 is a torque monster. This thing makes up for my lack of throttle control. Should get a secondary camera to have a roost cam. That would be fun on a day like today. Watch this back tire just spit out a bunch of rocks, whip up the mud. So I like single track, but the single track up here is technical. Oh, it's technical. I might go take you guys on a little single track run, but I wouldn't say I'm struggling, but I'm just out of my league. You know, like, one, I have pretty street tires on here, and two, it's just kind of scary, to be honest. I'm just intimidated because there's a lot of hill climbs, a lot of boulders, a lot of just stuff to bounce over. So this is more my speed right now. You know, it's still pretty rigorous. There's rocks everywhere, mud bogs. You gotta watch out. You gotta avoid some stuff. You have to avoid people. You guys all right? Okay, heard. Safe travels. The hard part is you pick a line and then you find a big rock in the middle of it. Throws you off sometimes. I'm sure you can hit it, but like a rock like that rock will do damage. Let's get that one off the trail. We need to get that off of here. We've been doing a little trail management today. Anytime we see something that could really mess someone up, we're getting rid of it. Oh, buddy. All right. That's my workout for the day. One 25-pound rock. And we're off. So most of the single track here, I've been just stuck in first gear, which is fine because this bike with its wide ratio transmission is, first gear is good. I've been lugging up some stuff, you know, like pretty technical hill climbs with twists and turns in them. And I'm just like sticking to first gear and working my way up nice and slow, 8 to 10 miles per hour. It's been good. But out here I get to finally get to third gear. And it's fun because that's what the 450 is designed for. Oopsies, there's people there. You guys waiting for the rest of your group? Yeah, they're just back probably 150 yards trying to get a bike started. But they're good. Oh yeah, that suspension. I love it. It's just soft enough for trails, but I can still hit some decent little hits, or some decent little jumps, if you will. And I haven't bottomed out one time today. Oh yeah, it's also a wheelie monster. Oh, you don't even need the clutch. Just get the RPMs in the right spot and give it gas. First, second, third gear. I haven't tried a fourth gear one yet, but like I said, I'm a beginner again. But hopefully not for long. I want to get out to this place more often. We're about 230 miles away from Philly, somewhere between the center of the state and Pittsburgh. So about 3/4 of the way across the state. Obviously I live at the very beginning of the eastern side of the state, being in southeastern Pennsylvania. We're pretty south, though. I would say we're about an hour from the Maryland border to the south of us. So we're south, but we're in the highlands. This is a beautiful section of mountains. See all the windmills in the distance. Well, at least I can. I don't know if the GoPro can. But yeah, Gunner Run is a good time. This is how we warmed up this morning. And I was like, all right, I'm coming back with the camera. This is a good one. Definitely a good one. And you can kind of take it as fast or as slow as you want. There's sections where I just open it up, and then there's sections like this where I'm like, oh, I'm just going to chug through this in first gear. The single track here on this side of the park is like good second gear single track, cutting through the fields and stuff. But it goes in the forest a few times, and lots of roots and stuff in the forest, and it had just rained. We had a nice little downpour this morning, and those forest sections don't get a lot of sun, so they're muddy and they're slippery. The roots are very tedious. I stalled the bike a few times, dropped it once, dropped the bike twice this weekend. Not too bad though. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's the reason why I put radiator guards on this guy. But I am loving the 450. All these guys that I'm riding with this weekend, they all have different bikes, and all of them, they're like a group text. They've been talking about like who's going to be the one to get the 450. And I just met them, and I'm like showing up on the 450, and they're all like, ah, finally somebody's got it. They all want to know my feedback, and I'm like, it's like a first impression. I can't give you that much feedback. I can tell you that I love riding it. I can tell you what some of its weaknesses are, and I can tell you what some of its pros are, but all I can really tell you is I'm having a good time. That's my honest opinion. I am having a good time out here. Surprisingly not too busy here either. Oh yeah, I told you guys I was going to shut up, didn't I? That didn't happen. It's kind of fun to talk and ride. It's like being in the calm with somebody. I've been riding silently all weekend, except for when I say, oh shit! It's like come over a hill and realize there's a big boulder at the bottom, or something I got to avoid quickly, or slamming on the brake because I just came into a quarter hot. You guys good?
Yeah, all good.
Alright, cool. No problem. It is rocky out here at Mountain Ridge. That is for sure. We are definitely in the mountains. Not quite in the Appalachian Trail, but we're like near it. So maybe on the outskirts of the Appalachian Trail? I don't know. I know we're in the Kittany Mountains, whatever that stands for. I don't know if that's a section of Appalachia or if it's its own range. love how you can just lug this bike though. Like, yes, it does have its flame out issues to an extent, but I put an ECU in here and they are 90% better, I would say. And I can really just, I can do some pretty technical stuff. Oh, I ate shit here this morning. I'm not going left this time. See that big rock in the middle right there? Yeah, I bounced off that thing and dropped my bike right in this mud puddle. And that's how it happened. Hit the rock and I stalled. This bike does not love starting when it's hot. All right, there you go, baby. Let's not repeat that mistake twice. Ooh, muddy. I came through here the first time before it rained. It has gotten a little slippery since then. This is what I'm talking about. You'll hit a jump and then boom, you're into a second gear corner. Which is, it's manageable, you can do it, but still kind of getting used to how to slam on the brakes, and I lock up the tire pretty darn fast. It's basically all or nothing. And that could be the tires, you know, they could just be sliding because they don't have as much traction, but either way, getting used to it. Having a good time getting used to it. You know, you gotta ride your ride. It's not just a rule for the street. It's definitely a rule for the dirt too. Especially because I was out with 12 guys earlier. 12 guys, like it was a pack. And we were having fun. All different skill sets, all different bikes. We had everything ranging from a YZ 125 to a Husky to a KTM 530. One guy was on an old school Transalp, like, you know, parallel twin. Yeah, we had some diversity going on. Let's avoid this mud puddle. Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah. Ooh, sideways. Jump, jump. Boom. So yeah, if you can't tell yet, I'm having a blast over here. And then into the forest. This is a little bit of a sketchy downhill, probably sketchier this time, because now it is quite muddy. Just lock up the back tire. I learned this weekend from a more veteran rider here to throw your weight backwards. It's kind of nice. I'm riding with some really cool guys that have a lot of experience, and they're humble. They're willing to, you know, let me join on their adventure, and they've been giving me some great advice. I appreciate that a lot. Good people too. You know, we've been having some fun off the bikes as well. Good food, good drinks, good vibes. Been grilling out. As you can imagine, 12 is a lot to cook for, so one guy took initiative to bring his grill master and whip us up some burgers and dogs last night. Made some peppers and onions to go on the side. Oh, it was good. Woo, bouncy. Just bouncing around. One thing I'm learning about rocks is you just gotta like not think about them. You just gotta like pick your line and bounce right through it. Just like, if you try to avoid every single rock, you're just gonna basically get off your line every time. So obviously this is a mixed trail. You've seen everybody pass as like ATVs, but it's a hell of a lot of fun on a dirt bike. I'm telling you. I'm doing the single track stuff with these guys because they're really into single track, but when I split off to do my own thing, I mean, this is where I like to be. And honestly, I think that's where the 450 likes to be too. This is more the 450 speed. Literally, going more than 10 miles per hour. See that rock right there? He screwed up my turn. Oh, let's go left. I was in third gear right there near a dead stop and I powered out of it. This bike has torque, baby. Oh man, it makes up for all of your mistakes. If you're too slow to get to that shift lever, just gas it. Gas it and use the clutch the right way. You will get out of trouble. I swear, unless you're going up a hill. Don't do that going up a hill. You need to downshift. I learned that many times over this weekend. First and second gear for hills. Third gear, maybe, if you're like in a nice progressive long hill with not a lot of bumps, but you start hitting rocks in third gear and you're looping. Or, you know, bucking. Probably not looping, but you're definitely going to buck. But yeah, this bike just flows. I am very happy with this bike. honestly, I'm really happy with Western Pennsylvania. It's beautiful out here. And I moved to Philadelphia when I was 21 years old. I didn't think I was gonna find myself here 15 years later, riding amazing bikes, with some cool people, in a really beautiful place. But here we are. Life is good. Gotta be thankful for every moment. Hook it. I really love the sound of this bike. I'm curious to see how it comes out on video, because I feel like being at a lower speed, I'm not going to get as much wind noise, so you'll get to hear the engine more. And I'm not like ripping, but every once in a while you'll hear me get it up there. But it's got a nice, I mean, this is stock. I threw a computer in here. I've done some like that kind of stuff too, but like in terms of the engine, this bike is stock airbox, stock exhaust, and I almost got squirrely there. Although the stock exhaust is it's got a cat in it, it's pretty heavy. I'm pretty pleased with it, honestly. Like, I don't want to be that loud, and I think that's pretty darn loud, so I'm happy with that amount of sound. Someday maybe for weight savings, maybe for other reasons, who knows, but for now we roll with the stock cam. And honestly, like all my buddies that have aftermarket pipes, I'm like, damn, that thing is loud, man. I don't know if I want to be that loud. I don't want to have to wear earplugs when I'm dirt biking. Ooh, that's some slippery, slimy stuff. These DOT tires, they're holding up. They're like IRC, made Japan kind of tires. I don't know exactly what the model is, but if you look at the specs for a stock 450 RL, you'll find out what kind of tires they are. And they're not so good in certain scenarios, but out here, when I have more hard pack, it's not so sandy, they're kind of kicking ass. Outside of the wet tree roots. Oh yeah, the wet tree roots were rough. Yeah, I feel pretty compliant on them. I feel like I can kind of tackle most, like I have a slight loss of confidence in certain scenarios, like I'm not really taking corners too fast yet. And of course someday I will put better tires on, but I want to wear these guys out first, why not? You know, still getting used to the machine. So yeah, this is Gunner's Run. It's a solid couple miles of just this. And I really enjoy the heck out of it. Definitely beginner friendly. Like, you know, there's some stuff that might scare a beginner, but they can do it. You know, this is the kind of thing I have trouble with, though. It's like, boom, jump, and then into a corner. I'm like, oh, I'm not ready for that. That's the kind of stuff where a beginner was, you know, like, they're going to struggle with that. So, like, in my mindset right now, I'm not really hitting those as jumps. I'm just kind of popping over them, which is also fun. And then, of course, like, coming out of corners in the mud bogs, you have to be a little careful about that. Or just rip it through the mud if you want to. I try to avoid the mud as much as I can. My bike will not resemble it. It's pretty darn dirty right now, but that's just how it is. I've been riding all day. Oh yeah, this is a super rocky section. Stick to the right. I remember this one. And flip over to the left. Drop the gear and into the forest. You guys good? Ooh, that was a big one just sticking up there. Yeah, I forgot this is going into a left. I'm starting to figure out this place though. That's the fun part. Now that you know when the turns are coming and how sharp they are and stuff, you can rip it a little bit more. Which is the right way to do things, right? Ride a trail once, feel it out. Ride a trail twice, have a little more fun. Ride a trail 3 times, you're good to go. Boom! Yeah, no bottom out. I mean, I'm not like going 20 feet in the air or anything. I'm not on a motocross track, but for a trail bike, that's great. As far as I'm concerned, that's great. I cross-shot the 300L against the 450 for a while. It's comparably different in price, you know, very different in a lot of ways. And I do not have buyer's remorse. I am so stoked that I went with the 450. I'm so stoked that I didn't listen to the haters on the internet that say this bike is not the right one for people to ride trails and whatever, all those things. Because, you know, of course other bikes are better at certain things. Not even going to go there. I mean, I'm riding with a bunch of guys on KTMs and they're crushing it. You know, they're killing it out there. And I'm not as competent. I just don't have the same power delivery. But I also like riding differently. I like riding like this. So, yeah, don't always listen to the internet haters. Listen to yourself and what you want. Sift out all the information that you know to be true. And, you know, read between the lines. If there's anything I learned in college, it's you gotta learn how to read between the lines. What is the author's message? What are they trying to actually say when they write something? I came out of nowhere. Look at that, third gear from the 10 miles per hour, no problem. There's the windmills. It's so cool to just be riding. There's these giant windmills around. What do we got here? Pretty good rock. It's not really in the trail, so I don't want to stop in the mud either. Sometimes you just gotta keep on moving. Full shot. Oh, there's guys up there. I don't want to haul, but oh, I'm at the end of the trail. So yeah, that's Gunner's Run. It's pretty epic. And this is the entrance to the park. So it's kind of like right near the parking lot. That's why we do it when we warm up in the morning. Let's see, let's get this bike turned off. Well, first, let's give you a proper sound sample, just in case. You know, it's pretty throaty. Doesn't sound bad. I like it. You got a little mud. Got a little mud in here. It's sticky. I'm gonna have to take care of that when I get home. Dropped it on the right side today. Actually, I dropped it on the left side too. Got some radiator guards down in here though. Those are worth the $150 I spent on them. They're so worth it. I also just said I'm doing it. Put my bark busters on. Some nice cushy grips. I like my cushy grips. And I put some bar risers, some 2-inch bar risers on here. I stood up one day, I was like, yep, I need taller handlebars. But other than that, I mean, I think I'm going to have to do some more protection stuff. I definitely want to get a better guard here because I've been hitting rocks all weekend, and that one is not going to cut it. Probably a better guard here too. These are all plastic guards. And I'm definitely going to get the skid plate that extends up because this guy right here, he's pretty vulnerable. And probably the front caliper guard. But other than that, I mean, it's just protection. That's all I really feel this bike needs. For the kind of riding I'm going to do. Maybe someday get a bigger gas tank. I put a rack on here. Going for the light adventure build, guys. It's going to be my light adventure bike. But I want to keep it minimal enough so I can come out here and just like still be on a dirt bike. So yeah, for now the tires are okay. I can live with them. And yeah, that is Mountain Ridge ATV Park. At least part one. We'll see. I might do some more filming today. So there's all the windmills. We're just like camping in a field of windmills. And it's pretty great when it's nighttime and it's really quiet. You hear them, they're like, and it's really interesting. So yeah, I love it. She's a beaut. As always, guys, ride safe. Catch you in the next one.
Just made it to camp. This is our little spread. Some of the guys are out already. There's the baby. What?
Oh, am I the
I was just taking a video of the spread, showing my wife what we're up to.
now?
Yeah.
Like I used to ride a lot when I was a kid, but you know, it's been a shit ton of years.
Sure.
What a place to have lunch. Can you hear my squeaky boots? Mountain Ridge ATV Park.
Oh, when you were behind us? Yeah. I was just